Welcome back to Lifelane's Brotherly Guide. We're your hosts, Justin and Don Mazza. On today's episode, we're interviewing my friend Brian Marzo. We'll get into the ins and outs of his job, which after the interview, I kind of know what he does, but still not really. In addition, we'll dig up a video recording from the archives that shows what a true genius Brian really is. So without further ado, here's Brian Marzo. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Dom.
How you doing?
We're good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for coming on. You know, we've been trying to get you on for a while. You've been evading us. I don't know if it's your schedule or I don't know what the deal was, but here we are.
You haven't followed up.
Care to rebuttal?
I'll say that. You haven't followed up great. I got a couple messages a couple months ago, and you haven't followed back up since. So happy to be here, and thanks for doing it this late.
Yeah, no problem. Just real quick, I want to chat about the wedding that we were just at. What'd you think?
Ooh, love the fact it was close to home.
Yep.
SFW, not having to get on a flight. Wish the bride felt better. For those who don't know, Erin did not feel great for part of her wedding. And so we missed her for several hours. But other than that, it was pretty great. I thought what stood out to me was the after party at the end.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Justin, when's your wedding? You're coming up now.
What, with the spread?
Yeah. I think we got to be very clear that when you have the after party, the spread has to include chicken nuggets. Because that was pretty bad. The chicken nuggets, the mozzarella sticks,
Justin,
the sliders. That was pretty dope.
Justin, what's on deck for your after party food?
Yeah, we have chicken nuggets, wings, sliders, fries, all the good, just classic bar food. And it's at the venue, which is easy. That's always a better spot for the after party.
Then taking a bus going to the next spot. High risk, high reward.
It's a lot. That's a lot. Well, we're out east, Brian, so no one's going anywhere. You're with us to the end.
True. I'd go.
Brian, do you feel like you can't party the way you used to, maybe?
Different. I actually thought about it because we were all texting afterwards and we're pathetically hungover the next day. I think it's a better way of quote unquote partying because you kind of know that you have to probably go a little bit slower and you drink more water in between and whatnot. But you don't really get to a point where you're you can't speak. You're never really slurring your words to some degree. But regardless of what happens, the next day's tricky. And I know that you and I were both struggling, unfortunately. And so
I was struggling.
I heard about this.
I hadn't felt that bad in a real long time. I couldn't do anything. I sat on my couch from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then went to bed.
It was the type of thing, too, where at first you think you get by, you're okay when you first wake up. Mm-hmm. And then 12:30, 1 o'clock came around and I was oh, we're back to square zero. I had to just go to the bathroom just to breathe. I just needed to be around.
Everything just felt like it took effort. The smallest little things.
And I can confirm exactly what put us there. And if Dave watches this, I'm going to point fingers at Dave. If you ever get offered a Stogue after midnight, just say no. We're smoking cigars, drinking tequila at 12:45. What are we doing?
That's the good the good mashup right there.
Well, yeah. And then Garraputo was out there Andrew Garraputo was taking pictures of us outside.
Yeah.
And so that just says something.
Dude, everybody left pretty early and then Brett just disappeared. Did you hear what happened to Brett?
I didn't. Story time.
He just was I'm going to go to Brooklyn. And we're just okay. It's me, him, and Joe at this point. He's yeah, I'm going to go to Brooklyn. I assume he was going to meet up with a lady. But I was just okay. And then he's just I feel like you're mad at me.
Hey, when did he ask if you were mad?
Right after he told me he was going to Brooklyn. And I was just no, dude. If you want to go, you can. And then he just left. And I haven't talked to him since.
You just ignored his FaceTime. I think we could have gotten the answers. Tyler, I feel
I've FaceTimed him earlier, and he didn't pick up. So he was returning it. But
Tyler knows. I'm assuming that you probably did the debrief with Brett the following day now.
Brett doesn't tell me anything. I will say I looked at everyone's location Saturday morning, and everyone was in very different places.
Is anyone in Brooklyn who shouldn't be in Brooklyn?
I don't know about that.
It took him a long. Yeah, I was watching his location too. It took him like fucking hour and a half to get there. And this was at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that's like the
Come
last
on.
thing I want to do.
Honestly,
yeah, go home.
The next person that you need to have on this podcast is whomever was on the other end of Brett. We need to hear from that person this side of the story.
Yeah, and Justin, the wedding was in like, I don't know, like Bethpage,
Midtown, right?
maybe?
Oh, I thought it was in the city.
At Bethpage Black, like the Heritage.
Oh, that's
Club.
dope. I love the mansion. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
nice.
it was like a 20-minute car ride home. And Brett's like, yeah, I'm going to take an Uber to Brooklyn.
Uber? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I took an
Not
Uber,
only the
yeah.
money, but like, jeez.
It's the both ways thing, too. Like, to be also in that, there's no way he didn't fall asleep. There's actually a pretty high chance he didn't fall asleep, actually.
I mean, even if you get there and there's this lady waiting for you at 3 o'clock in the morning, I mean, how good is that performance going to be? I know I was not in any shape to perform.
This kind of podcast? Okay.
No, we just went off the rails a little bit.
I like it.
All right, let's bring it back. Bring it back.
Can we acknowledge how Brian had me walk his dog while you guys were at the wedding and didn't tell me his aunt was going to be inside? And I scared his nice little aunt as I barged into the house.
Yeah, that caught me by surprise, too. And
then
she kind of just comes and goes as she pleases.
No, we love that about her. And because at first, I had originally, and
Brian's
sometimes I know
sucks.
how I come across, and the things I can ask for sometimes sounds rude, especially because like I don't always see you guys, and so if I ask for favors, I think it comes across the wrong way. And so when I had reached out to Tyler, I was like, "Hey, man, like, are you around?" And I think Tyler was like, "Oh, dude, Marzo's gonna be around. Like, maybe we'll get food." And then I'm like, if you're around, can you walk my dog? And I know how that.
He didn't say, am I around? He said, are you and D around tonight? And I'm like, oh, maybe like Brian wants to like get together and meet with everyone. And then it's like, no, can you walk my dog? And then no poop bags for the dog.
Yeah, that's also a topic of conversation. I think we can block that out for a second.
What?
No,
Do you not believe in poop bags?
No, I do, because people here in New York, unfortunately, don't carry them with and they just walk and dump like dogs like poop on the sidewalk. It's disgusting. So I have them, but that one broke. But I asked Tyler to do it, and Tyler was very kind. And then when we were at drinks beforehand, I was like, "Hey, mate, like you gotta like start to head out."
No way we're getting through this.
I'll make the story brief. And long story short, did not go at time. My aunt ended up and yeah, when he got there,
Brian, we didn't hear anything you said. You froze, and all we hear is long story short.
Should I freeze again?
Brian, what are you working with over there? LTE or something?
Is my internet not good?
No, that's an understatement.
It's not great.
Has it been bad this whole time?
No, it's in and out. It's not terrible.
Okay.
Tyler's the ultimate hype man. All right, Brian, let's get into it. So, I've known you for a long time. I don't know, 15 plus years maybe. And I have no idea what you do. Why don't you make it a little clearer about what you've been doing this last decade?
So it's funny because also on that, I find nothing more boring than when you're with people and they associate like who they are with what they do as their first way of like kind of quote unquote giving value to themselves. And it's funny because I learned that from my dad when, am I good? You guys froze now.
Yeah, no, keep going.
Okay. Because like when we would
Keep
go,
going.
trip.
Go off, King.
You can't tell. Is it not working?
No, it's fine. Just go. Just keep going.
Just go off, King.
As the first way of doing it. And so what I saw a lot was when like my dad would meet people, he would just be like, cool, I'm Kevin. What are your hobbies? Like it was always the first thing because no one cares. If you're an accountant, if you do financial management, I have no way of connecting to you on another level. And quite frankly, like when we even get introduced to other people and you shake their hand, it's like, hey, I'm Brian. Hey, I'm Justin. Like you forgot within 5 seconds what my name is. Same thing relates to I think, work. And so for a lot of the times, like when talking to you guys, I only see you a few times a year nowadays, like quite frankly. And that's a bummer, even though like, we could communicate and keep in contact more. And so to me, to start out just talk about work, it's not that interesting. So I help run revenue for a restaurant tech startup. We help make it easier for customers to buy directly from the restaurant, so that way you don't feel the need to buy directly from third parties, because that's a pretty convenient experience. And so we make it easier for customers to buy directly from restaurants.
So you're like going against Uber Eats and Grubhub and stuff like that?
To some degree. I would say we go more against like companies that already build websites and make online ordering possible. So like, for example, if you've ever heard of a company called like Toast, that would be someone that we go and compete more so with, because Uber and DoorDash are marketplaces. So like you would go to that platform if you're looking for certain foods to buy. So if you're in Albertson and you're in the mood for pizza, you would probably go to DoorDash and then look at those companies that maybe you want to order from. What we want to help people do, though, is recognize that it's easier and better for both the consumer and the restaurant for Dominic, instead of going to DoorDash to look for pizza in his area, to go to Google. And from there, when he finds D'Angelo's, if it's a really good buying experience, to buy directly from them. Because a lot of times if you're going to go to maybe D'Angelo's website, you'd go, wow, this is really not good. Therefore, default to standard habit, which is DoorDash, which charges the restaurant a 30% fee on each transaction, and typically then would mean that Dom pays a 30% increase in price plus a 15% service fee as a customer. So the point is, if you give the customer a really good experience of buying directly from them, we should be able to change user behavior.
Yeah. I want to, so it's cool, Brian, because I think
you use a lot of words there that Justin really likes.
Yeah,
right.
Brian, you
Get me
didn't
hot and
explain
heavy.
that. You didn't explain it to me like I'm a fifth grader. I think you
I'll
overestimated.
explain it. I'll explain like you're a fifth grader. Brian is basically trying to find different ways through technology, through a user experience, whatever makes the customer more likely to just go right and call the pizzeria or go right online to a pizzeria. So that could be like where their phone number is positioned on their website. It could be simple as that, or where they show up in your Google search. All these different ways of getting you more likely to go directly to the business to purchase your food.
Yeah, it's a good way of thinking about it. Because if you think about just like all the people will trade convenience more than anything, right? And so it's super convenient buying from Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub, but we all literally, the second you press order, you go, that was expensive. Why? No one, very few people will go and buy directly, or take a look at the way of being able to buy directly from the restaurant. They would rather pay more for the convenience of DoorDash, and I don't blame them. Like, I don't know if you guys have taken a look at like a mom and pop buying experience online. Like, it's kind of trash.
Dude, fucking awful. Dom's Deli, the worst website ever. I have no idea how to navigate it.
Exactly. And so that's the problem that we solve, is that, Dom's Deli doesn't, one, know how to acquire a new customer, two, doesn't know how to go ahead and retain a current customer, and three, they typically rely on third-party marketplaces of doing both those things, and profit margins within the restaurant space is typically 15-20% if you're lucky. And so the fact that restaurant operators who have a dream of owning a business and, really serving their community can't even make a profit, is where owner, as you can imagine, the name comes into place, is there for the owner. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Like, when I originally joined, I was sales rep number 4. Company was about 30 people. I was the first person to go, like, literally knocking on doors, like trying to get pizzeria people to like take meetings with me, and got absolutely body bagged early on. It's fun, calling Vinny Goombots as he's making lunch, and like you learn the hard way, dude. And I did a couple of different times. I don't know if you guys remember this. I would Snapchat myself making cold calls, because it's hilarious, dude. It's hilarious, man. Like, you have to just have fun with it, because at the end of the day, man, like, I don't know. the cool part about sales is that to some degree it's like kind of acting, kind of not. But yeah, man, like you would just call a shop and just be like, "Hey, this is Brian with owner." Like, get the fuck out of here, Brian with owner, and then just hang up on you. They're like, "You're calling me. It's Friday at 3:00, man. Like, I got the kids coming in after bowling. Like, you know what I mean?"
It's a numbers game, though.
Numbers, but also it's the way that you can communicate. And so, like in the beginning, I came from not selling to blue collar restaurant owners. I came from selling to like revenue leaders. And so even using that phrase right there, revenue leader, like Vinny Bag of Donuts doesn't give a shit about revenue. He's like, dude, dollars and cents, talk to me. Like how much are you putting in my back pocket? So like you even have to learn how to like communicate to someone who is different. So yeah, now it's a much bigger company. And like I said, I help put dollars.
Brian, are you typically? I guess is your company typically improving the user experience through the website? Considering these are probably small businesses, don't have any internal developers or even have the need to do that. Are you guys like? Is it social and website development is where you guys are typically driving change?
Yeah, it's a good question. So website, 100%. When you think about everything that we do, it's a platform that does like all things from SEO, website, online ordering, email, text marketing, loyalty program. We build mom and pops their own apps as well. Typically what you find from DoorDash is that 70 to 75% of the people that buy from DoorDash are repeat customers. Like, I don't know if you guys can all agree. Like when you buy from DoorDash, do you typically order from the same spots or you go to the same, you try different things every time?
I don't think
Same
I've ever
spots.
used DoorDash.
Well, kudos to you. I give you credit, man. I don't know about Justin or Tyler, if you guys ever have used the third parties.
I typically end up with ordering the same thing.
Right, because if you've tried Thai food and you like that, you're probably going to keep ordering from that Thai food restaurant that you bought Uber Eats or DoorDash. So once again, what we know is that DoorDash is actually confirmed 70 to 75% of the people that buy from a restaurant are repeat customers. Once again, what's the problem that you'd have to solve for? We know that you're paying a premium for this. You also know to some degree that you're hurting the restaurateur. I think we can all agree that we probably know that the restaurant isn't keeping most of those profits. We do it selfishly because once again, I guarantee if I were to ask Tyler, where's your phone right now? Tyler's going to grab it. It's on his desk. I know for a fucking fact it's right there. Excuse me. And Justin's the same way. Dom's the same way. Can I curse on this? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just
no pot.
No pot.
What was that?
You just
No
can't.
pot.
You can't smoke
That's fair.
or even mention the word.
I'll hide the paraphernalia. But if we know that customers are surrounded by their phone, building these apps also are super helpful for our restaurant partners. We don't do any social because once again, if I were to be like, hey Justin, when you're in the mood for whatever, it sounds like you don't eat Chinese, but if you're in the mood for Italian, if you're in the mood for Italian, right, in Rockville Center, you probably don't go to Instagram. So social media isn't viewed as a channel; it's viewed as a form of entertainment. So it's a different way of it's a different way of acquiring a customer. So we don't do anything like that. Maybe one day we'll see.
Interesting. Yeah, and the reason I was asking, I'm actually in the middle of reading a book, and they talk about it's no longer B2C, it's no longer B2B, it's H to H, and they call it like human to human interaction, and like that's how you're maximizing your contact. And I was just in North Carolina, and we went to a restaurant. That tip was included in the price of each menu item. So there's no tipping. They built tipping into the price.
Interesting.
I walked out. 4 people, $350.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. And I'm looking at the bill. I'm like, what the hell? And Lindsay's like, no, tips included. I'm like, yeah, but they didn't maybe I wouldn't have tipped this high. And also the food was subpar. And I think it decreased my experience as a user, which was interesting. But that's that's super new, different, innovative, whatever. And I was like, nope, I'm good. Did not enjoy that experience at all.
And one of the things too is really interesting when you look at the drop-off rate, like a customer that's had a bad meal, and this is no surprise. At the end of the day, none of this should be out of the ordinary. But if you can keep a customer to buy from you 3 times, you basically have that customer for its lifetime. And so there's different tricks that you can run in order to keep that person coming back. But you also know the same experience to be true too, where it's like this meal stinks one time, or quite frankly, here in New York City, it's like the most common thing. You look at most New York City restaurant reviews, they're like food great, service bad. You just won't go back. So There's a lot of different things that restaurant owners struggle with. And one of the other things too, as you guys can imagine, it's trust. People like me calling and trying to earn their business, they just toss their hands up. Sounds like snake oil, help make me more money and save me time and like make my life easier. It sounds kind of scammy. It kind of like I would be skeptical too. And so that's one of the other challenges that we've had. And that's why this human to human idea that you bring up, Justin, is important, because we believe in like go to network as one of our channels. So like how often can I have a restaurant operator in their network be my salesperson? So I don't have field sales. I don't pay reps to go door knock. I don't believe in that. I think it's a terrible efficiency. I tried that a little bit and we pulled that back. So I actually use restaurant operators in their network. Like Chen's, for example, like I can maybe just pinpoint a meeting and have a meeting with Chen's owner. I don't see that ever happening. They're like, for a variety of reasons, but I can create a way of basically incentivizing them where if they create, call it 15 introductions of other people in their area and they vouch for me, I can make sure that it's beneficial from a compensation standpoint for them as well.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, I feel like whenever someone has a deal for me, it's like too good to be true, or like, why would I even get in bed with you about this shit? Like, I didn't need this service that you came to me with, and you really need to like, I don't know, like how you establish that trust. Like the only people I would do like business with financially are really people that I've gotten word of mouth references from.
100%. And you're actually less like or work with someone if they can't pinpoint. So that's why in the beginning it was really hard, really difficult, because people would always say like, who do you work with around here?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't have anyone in your state, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that created a lot of red flags. But like, for what it's worth, like I do believe in our business model and what we can become to hopefully eventually one day IPO. I think that's been part of my goal, is to see that journey through. I like the startup environment. I like scrappy. I like getting in the mud. Like I don't find big businesses that appealing and whatnot. And so, yeah, I feel like that's part of the reason why like we just don't talk about it. Like there's not like just different. Like because your background's different than my background. Like Brett will like to talk sales. Brett likes to chop up these kind of things, but like works at a totally different business, Deloitte.
So,
I agree.
Brian, if you were to
what
IPO,
in the world? That's amazing. What is it?
No, it's for your under your bags, but no one can see me right now, so I can wear this.
Why can't no one see you?
I'm like behind the scenes.
But we can see you.
Oh, okay, got it.
You look
guess
like
you could see
Predator or something.
So Brian, like
I need those, by the way. Send me them.
If you were to IPO, if your company were to IPO and I buy shares in it, am I like insider trading?
You can't buy shares now.
Well, I know because it hasn't IPO'd, but
you could technically still be an investor. There's different routes to go.
So if I wanted to invest in owner right now, what would I do?
Walk my dog more frequently. Not give my aunt shit about helping her. Yeah, it wouldn't be considered insider trading. It would not be.
All right, sign me up too, Brian. You got two investors right here. Investors,
could be you.
Good. I'm glad you were going there.
Yeah.
So, Brian, how many employees does your company currently have?
We are now about 130. Yeah. And so on the revenue side, we're about 50. About 130 people. Yeah, it's been, like I said, joined number 33. So it's been, and I joined a little less than 2 years ago. So it's been in a good direction. But things change a lot. This is my first time ever doing that. My previous organization was a bootstrap company, like meaning that we just didn't take on capital to spend that like from investors. So you kind of hit like a ceiling. And my previous org was about 60 people when I left. And they're probably close in like the 80s now. So they've added about 20 in the last, I left in April 22, but like way different working for venture capital, like startup company in terms of like legit growth and also like chaos. Every single month, like regardless of how well I do, my number starts at 0, and I owe people money every single month. It's part of the reason why I recognize that my hair is definitely getting thin, faster than I would like, and certainly my eyes have gotten more of these, whatever these are. But like, yeah, it's been cool seeing it grow.
You like where you're at though compared to your previous role?
I would say so. Yes. I also like. I don't know. To me, I think as we've all gotten older, like hopefully people view their career in like a long-term like perspective, where like originally it was like, yo, get a job out of college, just like straight up get a job, and you kind of compare yourself to other people and what they're making as well. And then there's like this weird moment, I guess a little bit later, you're kind of just like, all right, this game, I'm probably playing this game for 35, 40 years. And so it's like, what game do I want to play in the season of life that I'm in? And like right now, it's like, cool, I don't have kids, I'm not married, I can dedicate 60 hours a week to like work, and like this is kind of my, I'll call it what it is. It's kind of my personality at the moment. I enjoy that. Can I do this when I'm in my mid 40s? No, like I can't, like with the pace that we're currently doing it. But like right now, I'm like, I really enjoy the fact that you can just be pointed at something, and also all is just like ex-athletes to some degree. Tyler, definitely not an athlete. Furthest thing from it, in my opinion. We're not going to call running a sport, are we?
No.
Most successful athlete in our friend group, but yeah.
What does most successful mean?
Yeah, can we get the definition of success?
Tyler, you have like a bionic heart. Doesn't even count.
No comment.
No comment.
I was on the practice squad of a sports team, nor was I on like the bottom tier of the wrestling bus.
Whoa! Hang on.
You still kick your ass.
You thought we were on a bus, dude? They didn't let us take a bus. We didn't go to the events.
Nah, dude, we walked there.
Yeah, dude. They were like, figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. There's also like business. I view it a little bit also like sports. It's like kind of competitive. You can kind of go join winning teams. Like you can go to a losing team, make more money. Like you can just do a lot of different things, which is interesting.
What do you think your 5-year outlook looks like? What would you say Brian Marzo's doing in 5 years from now?
Yeah, it would be what we're doing again, meaning I expect to be able to be at owner in 5 years, and it's a way different business. Like it could be, it'll knock on wood, IPO, make some good money, and you could get a nice little like stamp on your resume. I would be 35. My boss today is 38. He was ex-head of revenue at Shopify, and he's been a VP at 2 other companies as well. And so like to him, this is his last like startup run. Call it like the LeBron. I guess you
Jordan,
can call it
the last dance.
No, yeah, maybe. I think if I'm 35 or however old, it's like cool. You can go ahead and you can eat shit for another 6-7 years. Like do that, and then low 40s. That's the next question. That would be. I don't know about you guys. I think about that all the time.
10
I think
year.
about that all the time. Not even like 10, but like the 15 year.
15 year.
Because think about it. Like what you're doing right now, you're probably gonna keep doing for another 5, right?
I would
Probably.
hope so.
Me too. Unless you lose your license, and then we have bigger issues.
There's always sales. You don't need any experience for that.
You literally don't. And that's like guys. Like I don't know. Like first off, I like the expression like sales is the garbage can of jobs. No one expected to get into it, and next thing you know, you're stuck in it. I definitely didn't expect to be in sales. I thought I was going to be a cop, and I still sometimes regret. Or I don't regret. I still sometimes wonder what that direction of my life would have been had I been one. But like you kind of know where you're going to be in 5 years. 10 years isn't that far out. I think we all could agree that we recognize what we were doing at 19. Like I remember what I was doing, who I was with. I'm still with a lot of those people. It's why we're all here right now. 15 years ago, though, that was way different. We were 13, 14 years old.
I mean, 10 years ago, we were like freshmen in college. Like, bro, my mentality was so different back then than it is today. Think about how much life you've lived from that day to now.
Yeah, but I will say, not that I'm that much older, but once you get into your 30s, like the 30s are really you improving in your personal life with hopefully a relationship or a kid, like the nuclear, right, kind of typical way it goes, and your priorities do change. And to Brian's point, like you don't want to eat shit anymore. Like, like I'm done personally. I'm like so sick of just traveling, living out of a suitcase. Like I pulled a lot of that back because it's not sustainable for what I want to do over the next 10 years. So it's like something I identified of like, all right, I need to shift this way of living. And that's why remote work has been awesome because a lot of people who are maybe 5, 6 years older than me that have young children, they're like, this is the best thing under the sun because they never got a chance to be around their kids for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you again, Justin? Are you 31?
I'll be 32 in May, yeah.
32 in May? Yeah.
Damn, bro.
And so, like, agreed with all of that, but 5-year, run this back, 10-year, I can see that through the end. And then, like, it's like, I don't know, like, I think a lot of people get, like, this, like, mid-40s, call it midlife crisis, call it whatever you want. But you're like, great, like, where am I going to commit my time and energy towards? And as someone who I believe identifies as a workaholic, I'm like, I don't know what's going to be my next, like, thing that I point effort into. I hope it's obviously, I would like to be able to, like, have a dope family and all that kind of stuff. But, like, am I just going to pick up, like, I don't know, man, like, golf? It sounds kind of boring. Like, we'll find out. I'm not that good at it right now. It doesn't sound boring. It sounds,
Thanks, Brian, for walking that back.
Justin, do you even golf?
I do golf.
What's your hand? I mean, first off, you had like the worst putter I've ever seen in the background. I'm assuming
my
that's
dad's
like
old
your
one.
practice.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Does it have the little suction cup on the end where you pick up the ball?
I wish. My back's not that bad yet.
Yeah. What's your handicap?
I'm a 14.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought. For whatever reason, you're not giving me golfer vibes. But
I don't know how to take this conversation.
This is tough. He's coming at you with rapid fire.
It was better when we couldn't hear you.
I was gonna say you guys are giving me crap before, so I have to kind of throw it back so we can see what playing field we're on. But
Dom golfs now.
Really?
I'm getting into it.
He doesn't golf. You know, he golfs. He's not a golfer, right? Dom, is that how he?
That's what I say for
So,
skiing.
when you golf, do you have a bag or do you rent a bag?
I've never been golfing.
We just got him his first set. He's just been to like practice indoor ranges right now.
Have you been with Tyler yet?
Just to the driving range.
Yeah, but we're gonna change that in about a month. We're gonna take
How's
that on
that?
his first course.
He's coming.
He's coming home first, so we're gonna take him on a course or two. But yeah, my bachelor party, Dom will be golfing.
What's the best course to take someone to first time in Nassau County?
A 9-hole course like Christopher Morley, Bay
I was
Park,
gonna say, probably Christopher Morley.
I was gonna say it's got to be Morley, right?
and the 9-hole courses. Yeah,
The other good 9. I mean, it's kind of I don't know if it's the best for the first time, but Harbor Links is solid. No
it's
driver.
a nice course.
It's really nice. It's kind of inexpensive. Good views. I like Harbor Links for irons.
Bay Park, $9 on a weekday.
Where's this?
Right by me, right around the corner. And I think it's technically Oceanside, Bay Park, Nassau County.
Look at that.
Ever
$1
heard
a
of it?
hole.
Ever hear of it?
No, I haven't. It sounds great though. Anything? I can't remember the last thing I spent that was under $10.
I'm going to the indoor simulator tomorrow.
That actually is probably the worst thing you could do. The reason being is that it's really difficult to feel comfortable, even though they'll tell you that it's like the bay
yardage,
is wide enough. The bay is never wide enough, so you're going to like definitely probably drop your hands on the swing, and then you're certainly going to say the yardage is going to be off.
I've been hitting it too high, where the screen doesn't.
Then. Yeah,
the screen doesn't register.
The guy's hitting it too high. He goes, "Let's just go to a screen then." Like,
Yeah,
what a terrible
I was
idea.
hitting it like over the net in his backyard and almost hit a car.
Yeah.
Justin, were you there for that?
No, I heard about this. He went way over the net.
Why is it tee? Are you like?
No, he was just hitting an iron.
Oh, wait,
hitting
no,
off
no.
the grass,
Oh,
yeah.
So this was in my backyard, maybe like a year ago. I don't even know what we were doing. Maybe playing like spike ball or something.
Yeah, we had our shirts off.
And my dad has like his, what would you call it, a pitching net?
Yeah.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah. So he's just like, oh, take this club. You know, let's see it. Let's see it. He's like, just take a nice swing. Just go for it. And I do a pretty nice swing, and it just like sails over like our back shed and just into the, I don't even know where it went, somewhere in the street. I didn't hear it hit any cars or any people.
Can I tell one quick story?
Of course.
So, I played some golf growing up, and my dad and I went to a spot on Shelter Island. And it's one of those like public golf courses. There's a country club. Obviously, we don't belong to that. And hole 2 is on the busiest road on the entire island.
I
Okay.
never get that.
I don't get it also, but I understand plot of land, whatever. And so,
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean it's on a road?
So the hole,
Yeah.
and then a highway or something
Yes.
with minimal coverage. Usually no net, maybe a couple
Zero
trees
coverage.
if you're lucky.
Zero coverage.
Yeah,
Like when I tell you,
Eisenhower's like that.
Eisenhower has a few like them. But long story short, I'll make it long. Is that I'm on hole 2, and my pops is now on the side, and because we're bad, and we fade, which is hits it left or right. And so my dad is looking at traffic oncoming, and we have a sign. It's just like, okay, now, basically. So like you need a comment. Like it's like, yeah, literally, you feel like you're back in playing paintball. And so I get ready, I smoke it, and I'm using a hybrid, and this thing just starts dovetailing and immediately starts making its way right for the road. And naturally, there's a car now coming, and it's perfect slow motion this exact moment where you're like, this guy, it's going through the windshield, and long and behold, it goes right through his windshield.
Get
This
out.
guy then basically has to making it like he basically gets into an accident on the side, and he gets out of the car. The guy couldn't be a day over 100. The guy is beyond old. And so he gets out of the car. He's kind of like a little all over the place. And he goes, first the Lyme's disease, now this? And so, unbelievable. The cops come.
Yeah, Brian, what is – I've always wondered because I've always been fearful. Like, what does it look like from you as the golfer, from the insurance or –
Oh, well, of course, my dad is like running over. He's like, we'll pay for whatever it is. But like, yeah, like I think I don't remember exactly that. I was like pretty young. I was like, whatever, 11, 12.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but no, that scarred me. So hole 2, every single time that we play now, no one tees off. But I was in the paper, and that was the police department that I worked for. And so there were a lot of jokes afterwards when I was there. And the cop who came over and wrote me the ticket was the sergeant that I worked for when I was working on Shelter Island, which I thought was a nice full circle moment.
That is.
So, bad at golf.
What a day for that old man. First the Lyme's.
I kid you not, man. It was like one of those things where like it was just like kind of like the perfect. Nothing he could have said could have been better than that exact moment. And so when you play Morley, I don't think you'll have any issues there. Harbor, you might have one. Hole 2.
Yeah, it's like people who have houses on golf courses and then get mad when like a golf ball like comes to their yard, or I don't know if it actually like breaks their window, but
oh yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah, they do.
Wheatley is that. Literally, Wheatley has like several different holes. And I remember growing up after absolutely almost killing the guy with the Lyme's disease. Every time that I would play Wheatley, you play with like really good golf. There you go, Harbor Links, baby. Yeah, and you just would immediately go like, don't hit in the backyard. The one thing to do, don't hit in the backyard. Where's the ball go? Bang.
You're like not even focused on the game. You're just like, don't fuck up their yard.
They must make so much money collecting golf balls. You know,
at that golf course too, there was someone who would actually after school every single day walk because it's a public golf course. Everyone's terrible, and they would walk around in boots and collect golf balls and sell them for $3 a pop. It was called Grandpa's Balls. Hilarious. Great business model. Yeah, like literally just like for an hour's worth of work, probably made like $30-$40, like kid. Not too bad.
Crushing it.
Absolutely. I mean, I would take that.
Yeah, I did some questionable things when I was younger for less amount of money, so that's pretty good.
What, OnlyFans?
Oh, I wish I was around back in the day. Well, Brian, this conversation has been great. I think to close it out, I want to rehash this old famous video that we have. Dean, are we able to play that?
I think so.
Why don't you pull that up?
Ayo.
You guys hear it?
Yeah, now we can't, but I think it's paused.
Being a soldier. only for a chosen few. You have people
Smoked them.
right beside you, and that will die for you. These people are your brothers. No different from the ones you have.
Is that Fred? Oh my god.
We all hurt. We bleed. We love. Just like you.
The production is incredible.
Really good.
But we will sacrifice ourselves for all.
I think there's a scene where I help a kid out of a bus, no?
Yes.
We will run towards evil and think nothing of it.
Hey, oh, there it is.
For as long as we have each soldier beside us, we cannot lose. We do this not to be considered heroes, but to hopefully inspire them. So we will keep moving forward into the darkness in order to preserve the light.
Wow. Bad
I'm
game.
not gonna lie.
Dude,
It's better than I thought.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
How did you even do that?
I don't
What?
know. I think I should replace Tyler as the video editor.
You probably
You did that, what, 15 years ago? 10 years ago? Probably
No
longer.
AI.
Zero AI, GoPro. I remember. So actually, this is kind of funny. Real quick. I remember the voice that I put on. I tried to go for a Leo voice. I was going for Leo DiCaprio. It came out very Fogel.
That's what I said.
It came out more Fogel when you listen to it, but I was going for like a Leo sound. I don't know. I thought it was pretty dope. Not gonna lie.
Did you write that speech?
I did. Yeah.
Not
Oh,
bad.
God. That makes
Not bad.
I'm just saying. Like it's funny this blend. Like, wanted to be in law enforcement. Now I'm writing scripts a different kind of way. That was kind of dope. Come full circle, eh? And I'm
Yeah.
Canadian.
That was fire. I'm glad that we still have access.
You weren't even there, too. Were you there,
I was
Dom?
not. No.
no.
Do you?
And
That's
then
why I
we-
got Poison Ivy.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tyler. Is that
I
on
had Poison
YouTube?
Ivy?
That's on YouTube. Yeah. It's not on your. You have your streamer account where you used to stream your Warzone games, but it's not on that.
Wait, what?
That was a
Yeah,
different part of Brian's life. Yeah.
Wait, you didn't know about that?
No, you were
Oh,
a
dude.
Twitcher?
No, I didn't Twitch. We basically.
I didn't Twitch.
I didn't. I should have.
Too
I wish.
easy.
I didn't Twitch. And so no, I just like took dubs and then like recorded them because you can record them apparently on like PS4, and then you'd post it. And it's funny because the only people who would watch it are the people who are in the game. So I was like, I remember doing that. I don't know, it was silly, but that was COVID. Good times.
That was COVID.
Brian was a content creator before us. Brian, my only question is, how has it been the past 15 years being like a plant within our friend group?
Still unsure if I'm in the friend group.
Damn.
No, I think I'm still gonna get exiled. Well, it's the reason why I thought I got it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think the reason why I got invited was for the CYO team. I think that like you guys needed another body
For the basketball team?
Yeah,
Classic.
and so classic. And Justin as our coach.
That's right.
Did you have any game plan when we
I
showed
wish there
those
was
practices?
I wish there
Or
was a
you're just like,
documentary made
Remember
about
that time we got
season.
locked out of like couldn't get in?
serious? We got locked
Yeah.
out?
They stopped letting us practice. Yeah.
Oh, that's jeez.
We
None of
needed
that
it.
surprises me. Yeah. Well, we would just show up, and Justin's like, "All right, you guys want to run little fours?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I don't know how to dribble with my left hand, dude." I was like, Justin's
You
like,
need that.
"Nah, just." He's like, "You don't need that left hand. Just go righty." And that was the Joe for our special. Joe would always have to cut right because he couldn't dribble with his left hand.
Oh man.
Into the little log.
And so I think that's
Shoot.
how I became embedded as an alien to your group. And so yeah, funny how it all turned out.
Do you ever
I was
feel out of
happy.
place?
Yeah. One more time.
Do you ever feel out of place?
Surprisingly, no. I think there's been chances to feel that. My question, honestly, like if we're going deep, I sometimes wonder if you guys see pictures of the group and I'm in it, and you're like,
Fuck.
that, yeah, just like, wow, who's that guy who weaseled his way in, or
No,
like,
not at all.
well, or it's like is that Leo DiCaprio's voice actor?
I got
I sometimes wonder that too.
Where is it?
What's this?
What is that?
Yeah, I love that picture. That's the one
This is the greatest.
in Tyler's house. No,
greatest photo of all time. Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that where
that's me with
Joe
Robin.
has his long hair?
Joe has his long hair.
Dude,
Marzo's
Tyler,
biceps are looking
you
sick.
should make a little collage of Joe's hair throughout the years.
Throughout the years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's had a
that's
lot
good.
of different styles.
has
he's
Tyler
Remember his
ever
nose
not
ring?
had this one?
what my hairstyle right now?
No, this style just in general. Has Tyler ever not been clean shaven?
The
This
Rock.
hair.
I love
The
it. I
Rock.
love when he wears jeans. I was like, damn, he's looking good.
When I wear
Without,
jeans,
Yeah.
without actually showing us, can I guess, Tyler, you wearing socks?
It's like the black, like
Yeah, it's the
Satan
black,
socks.
disgusting, like the kind of thing where if someone rocks wearing, yeah, see, like you
Yeah,
can't.
Justin, look.
He's got
It's always
that.
the same one.
And it's
Yeah.
always, this is the kid who, if you ever see, you're like, he's a little weird. We should invite him to the lunch table. They always, I'm kidding, Tyler. I love you.
but black socks are in, right?
No, they're not.
Are they out? Are they out again?
As the certified, I'm gonna say, I'm the certified fashion guy in the group to some degree.
Oh, for
Um,
sure.
Yeah.
And it's not because I have good fashion. I think you guys just set the bar really low.
It's just by default.
Yeah, it's like you could be the best at it, and that's the reason why Tyler's the best athlete amongst our group, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty fair take, I'd say. Yeah, you can't be rocking black socks at 29 years old, my friend.
That's a wake up moment for me.
What if they're like Nike?
I'm saying no. I'm thinking.
I'm still saying no.
I'm saying no for a variety of reasons. I mean, once again, if you're watching this, you choosing to stay with him, but maybe request, I don't know, like Adidas mid calves. I think that's a pretty fair. It's kind of like a dad vibe too. Dad rolls up rocking a deep.
Like white Adidas mid calves.
Yeah, I think you don't need black.
Brian, why don't you get in our Amazon cart and you could start
Put
buying
some
us
things in there.
buying us some clothes and we'll Venmo you.
Down. I'm in.
Personal shopper.
Yeah.
Is this podcast making money yet? Like, can we get some sponsors in this?
We are sponsored by SeatGeek.
Oh, imagine you just plug that right now. That would have been dope. I'm just gonna say it, man.
We do.
We
do
are
an
sponsored by
affiliate. Yeah, we
SeatGeek.
do. We do have an affiliate code.
Do we actually?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Skipper's
forget to do it.
Yeah,
you.
we have forget. No, I was still gonna do the intro.
That's
So
pretty sick.
we could.
Good on you guys, man. The fact that you already have that, that's pretty awesome.
Well, it's Tyler.
Nonetheless, it seems pretty good that you guys have affiliates that you can go ahead and plug, and hopefully make some money. But this was fun. I really, I appreciate it. I don't know if there's any other final questions, but I had a good time.
No. Justin, you have anything for Brian?
I don't feel like you're an outsider. I always appreciate talking to you.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. So if there are any of those thoughts, just know that one day you could probably put someone else's face over my my picture. If that decision ever gets me, if I start to see the pictures get wiped off Instagram, I know it. The time has happened. So
It's coming.
It's black.
yeah, probably. But
Everybody has black socks in the photo.
that's exactly what I'll know. And I'll fade away, and I'll pull maybe I'll loop in compadre at that moment.
Oh, compadre, R.I.P.